When I was younger, I had to buy groceries at Dollar Tree, not because I wanted to, but because I literally couldn't afford anything else. I think when you're younger and when you're just starting like life, like the moment where you leave home and you're on your own for the first time, whether that be when you graduate high school and you go to college, or you just simply turn 18 and you move out of your parents' house. And for some people, it's not even that. Some people, it's later in life. Like you leave when you're like 22, 23 after college and start like your own life and like start having your own bills. That moment, I feel like it's a common thing for young people to really, did I really say young people? I sound old. It's a really common thing to not really have a ton of money, like not have a lot of like exposed or expendable income, especially today. And for me, it was no different. When I made the step from not having bills to adulthood and having like bills and everything else, I found that I didn't have a ton of money. And not having money, that's a unique thing that you can only understand if you've gone through it. Like you can't really you can sympathize, but you don't really understand. And it's a hard thing to communicate without being poor. You might be asking why I'm mentioning all this and what brought this up. Savannah and I are just, when you own your own business, bookings kind of go like this. Like money kind of goes like this. It's not like a flat line. Now we have like a savings account, like with enough money saved up to make it to where it's a consistent thing, and like we're not like completely broke by the end of a month if we don't get enough bookings. All that being said, bookings have been low for the month of July, and we just got a random bill from Tennessee that we sent to our tax lady. I'm not convinced that it's actually a legitimate thing, and she's not convinced either, so she's drafting like a response for us to send off to Tennessee government. At any event, I'll make a video about that later because it's just been a really bizarre, weird, annoying experience. But all that being said, Savannah and I have been thinking about money a lot more than we have recently, fortunately. And it brings me back to like when Savannah and I were poor right out of college. That's why. Now, right out of college, I didn't have like a traditional job. I actually dropped out of college. This is right when I dropped out, and I was working for a power washing company, like washing houses and stuff like that. And on top of that, I was also like donating plasma to try to like make ends meet. And with all that being said, it kind of goes without saying, like money was pretty tight. And one of the ways that I found to cut corners at the time was to shop at Dollar Tree for like beef ravioli and a bunch of other products that they sell, because I couldn't afford to go to Walmart. Going to Walmart was a luxury for me, and then Kroger was just completely out of the question. And I remember that feeling of like just not having money and how it was affecting everything in my life. And that's when I quickly learned that not having money can affect every aspect of your life, whether you like it or not. And when you do have money, it's the complete opposite. Like you don't think about it. And your life you have a lot more bandwidth to be able to focus on other things like what you want to do, or other ways to make money, like creative ways to make money and to make more of it too. If Savannah and I had one request from our current living situation, we wish there was a bigger balcony, like something like that. I'm also a firm believer that if money's tight, or like at least for me, if I'm backed into a corner, that's when I get really creative and I think of things that I normally wouldn't have thought about. And making money just appear is a superpower that I think you really learn when you don't have it and you're trying to make more money and get more money, I think. With it forcing you to get creative, I think it also with it doing that, I also think that it makes you really look like really analyze what you're actually doing and what your goals and objectives are, and it really gives you a laser focus on what you want to do, because the goal or the path is so much clearer. I feel like when everything is going right and everything is like you have plenty of resources, that's when it gets kind of tricky, because you have so many different avenues to go with. When I was going to Dollar Tree to get food, I had one goal and one goal alone, and that was to have enough money to not have to shop at Dollar Tree and get really cheap items. So I mean, looking at it with glass half full, that is an amazing thing. And honestly, I would be lying to say, like, when I look back on those times and I see my life now, I honestly don't know if I would have the stamina or have what it takes to do that now. Like, would I actually have enough mental toughness? Would I have enough tenacity to actually go to Dollar Tree and get food in the sake of doing what I actually want to do, instead of getting a job that pays really well? Now, all that being said, I mean, you do what you have to do in life, and I think that everything in life is a lesson, and you can learn things from it, and you can pull wisdom from that. Just like having to just get a little more frugal in seasons where maybe the money just isn't as abundant, or the job isn't paying as well as you thought it would. But I think at the heart of it, at the end of the day, it's important to really make sure that you really do enjoy what you're doing, or at the very least, if you're not doing that yet, to start making strides or making progress, taking steps to that. And I think with that, it makes the times like when you're having to buy food at Dollar Tree, or when you're having to not go without something, or maybe not get something that you actually want to get, if you look at your ultimate goal as kind of like your North Star, it'll help you refocus and realign with what you actually want to do, and I think it'll make that decision in the moment a lot easier, at least for me. There's a dog park right outside of our apartment, and they're like driving, like a bobcat, the bobcat little bulldozer things. They're driving that into the dog park. I don't think it'll fit. Oh, but it does fit. Our apartment complex has been under construction for about a month now, and we just came back from a 2-week trip. And when we got back, half of the a wall on the actual apartment complex is completely gone. To give you a little context, the end of that hallway right there used to be there was a wall there, and now. On the letter that they sent out, there was no end date. It just said the construction project, and that there's going to be one. I'm gonna make this a series just because I have no idea when it's gonna be done. Yeah, follow for part 2, maybe 3, maybe more than that.